Welcome back to the call out. When you hear that music, you know it's gonna go down. Calling out from wherever you are around the globe, whether you are listening on the go or you're listening in your living room. Either way, the call out's got your back with original MMA content. It's your boy Richie back with another radio show for today. That's right, we're talking about UFC 292. Live in just a couple of hours. We got the early prelims about to start here. Don't forget about the main prelims at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. Both of those will be free and live on ESPN Plus. And then the main card will go down 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, live on pay-per-view. UFC 292 is going to be a great fight card, guys. We have some good matchups here, including the main event. Aljamain Sterling has been such a dominant bantamweight champion. He's very well-rounded. He's got the striking. He has the grappling. He has the submission ability. He has the wrestling takedown defense and takedown attack. But he's facing somebody that has a lot of hype behind them. He has pretty much the whole UFC organization behind them. Look what they did. They made this fight in Boston, obviously, for Sean O'Malley. Obviously, they're going to be pro O'Malley over here. I mean, you saw it in the weigh-ins. They're booing the heck out of Aljo, but I think Aljo's going to use that to his advantage. I just hope he doesn't get too comfortable. He knows that this is a bad matchup for Sean O'Malley, but it's also a bad matchup for Aljo because Sean O'Malley, he does something special with the stand-up, with the striking. He can knock out just about anybody, so you can't sleep on that. You can't let Sean get comfortable. You can't let him get focused. Ultimately, you can't even worry about him. You just got to worry about you, Aljo. You need to be focused. You need to be hungry. You need to be on point. Do not lose to this guy. You know you're the better fighter. You know you have the wrestling, the submission, the striking as well. Even though Sean O'Malley has a 1-inch reach advantage, I don't think it's going to be enough. I think this is going to be boxer versus all-around fighter, and I think the all-around fighter gets it done. Aljamain Sterling has been too dominant, guys. He really has been. I'm sorry to all the Sean O'Malley fans. You know, I know he's undefeated besides the Chito Vera fight. Aljamain Sterling, he's the champ. This is going to be a wicked main event, man. If you're a Sean O'Malley fan, plus 215, that's good value for you guys. If you really believe that Sean's going to get it, you definitely should bet on him. The numbers are good. And if you are like me and you really think Aljamain Sterling's going to get it done, then it's going to be tough for us to kind of make money here. He's a big minus. He's a minus 255 in some places, minus 240 over here in Vegas on William Hill. So I'm not going to tell you what to do and how to bet, but I'm going to just let you know that I really do believe Aljamain Sterling will win this. I think he can win this via submission. He can even possibly win via TKO. Maybe he's on top of O'Malley and just landing some strikes, some ground and pound. I just don't see Sean avoiding the ground. He's going to get taken to the ground, guaranteed. What I'm afraid of, actually, is like a freaky knee or a soccer kick from Sean O'Malley. Him landing that on Aljamain Sterling as Sterling goes for the takedown. That's what I'm worried about. Other than that, guys, I think it's going to be the Sterling show. That's just what I believe. So I got Aljamain Sterling by submission or the under 4.5. I don't see it going over 4.5. I can see this fight ending somewhere around round 2 or round 3. So, yeah, that's going to be my prediction on that, guys. Aljamain Sterling via submission or TKO. One of those two. I probably lean more towards submission just because they're so slick and we haven't seen Sean O'Malley really show any good grappling. So I think that's the easiest way to get him. It just depends on what Aljo decides to do, whichever one he gets first. Okay, let's go down. Zhang Weili at the co-main event versus Amanda Lemos. Oh, my God. This is going to be wicked. Amanda Lemos is a plus 270 underdog against Zhang Weili. But Amanda Lemos is walking in with the 2-inch reach advantage. And she hasn't lost a fight since her last 5. She's been on a 5-fight win streak. She's been absolutely dominant. She's got the power, she's got the boxing, and she's got submission skills. Zhang Weili is another all around fighter. She's very dominant. She knows how to get ground control. She knows how to fight like a champion. She's got great striking. She's got good boxing as well. Specifically, she knows how to use her hands. She knows how to get out of harm's way using the head movement. And her wrestling is powerful. She's got some great double legs. She knows how to get you down, whether you're in the middle of the canvas or against the cage. She knows how to get the fight where she wants it. I think this is just going to be an electrifying fight, and it's anyone's fight, man. It really is. I know a lot of people think that Zhang Weili is going to get it. I mean, she's a minus 320, so the sport book really thinks that she's going to win, but they're giving us some good value with Amanda Lemos, who has been on a hot streak and who has really good boxing. She knows how to find that chin. She's going to use that 2-inch reach advantage. She looks very relaxed, very zoned in. That's kind of scary if I'm Zhang Weili, but if Zhang Weili can go in there, focus, hungry, pushing the pace, alert, she should be able to win. I'm just afraid that she gets caught with something crazy like a kick to the face, similar to the Rose Namajunas fight. So I'm going to go Amanda Lemos on this one. I'm going to take the underdog, and I'm going to say and new, but I would not be surprised if we get and still. I will not be surprised if Zhang Weili shows her dominance and retains the UFC women's flyweight belt. So that'll be my pick there, guys. It's a tricky one. That's a tricky one, but nonetheless, the fans are going to win because it's going to be a great fight. Great matchup. Great matchup for the matchmakers. They did a really good job with that one. Neil Magny versus Ian Gary. We got Neil Magny, who's a plus 250 underdog, versus Ian Gary, who is a minus 330 favorite. Ian Gary is undefeated in the UFC, but Neil Magny, he's fought some high-level opponents. He's beaten some really high-level competition, and Neil Magny has a 5.5-inch reach advantage over Ian Gary. Yet, Neil Magny is still a plus 250. He was actually a lot cheaper when it opened. He was like plus 300 or like 340. So some people are buying into Neil Magny, and I'm going to join. I think he can get this done. I think that he can spoil the party. He's fought the better competition. He's got great striking. He's got great grappling, good submission skills. But Ian Gary, he's improving each time. So it's scary to not know what level he's on right now and how much he's improved. Maybe there's some skills that he has and that he possesses that we haven't seen yet. We know he can knock people out, but we haven't quite seen his grappling fully tested. So I think this is going to be a great fight for Ian Gary. If he wins, that's going to put a lot of respect on his name, defeating a veteran like Neil Magny. And if Neil Magny wins, then there's going to be some good hype for his career, and maybe he can start making another run for the title. And Ian Gary hasn't fought someone with that much of a reach advantage, so I don't know how used to that he's going to be. I don't know how prepared he's going to be for that. If I had to make a bet, I'm going to go the heavy favorite, Neil Magny money line, or Ian Gary by decision after a 3-round high-paced war. This is going to be a wicked fight, guys. I love the value that they gave us on Neil Magny. They got me. It might be bait, but they got me. I'm going to take it and just let it ride and just hope for the best. UFC, they knew what they were doing with this as well, having this fight in Boston. We all know that Boston is... They love the Irish fighters, so they're going to be booing Neil Magny like crazy during the fight. Hopefully that doesn't get in his head, but we know Ian Gary's going to be super comfortable, super confident. Neil just has to strike and be confident in himself and just take the fight where he wants it. Don't let Ian Gary take the fight where he wants it. Okay, so let's go ahead and scoot on down. I want to talk about Marlon Vera versus Pedro Munoz, and then I want to talk about Chris Weidman, and then we'll be wrapped up here. But Marlon Vera versus Pedro Munoz, great matchup. This is a great matchup. Marlon Vera is as scary as it comes. He actually has a 5.5-inch reach advantage over Pedro Munoz for this fight. Marlon Vera's striking
is ridiculous. It's slick. It's sneaky. It's powerful. He's got some crazy knockout on his highlights. He's got a crazy highlight reel. But he's a slow starter, and that can be kind of scary for Marlon if he gets too comfortable or lackadaisy, or he just comes in not fully focused. And if he doesn't start right away, he only has 3 rounds, so he needs to start right away. Otherwise, Pedro Munoz, he's going to use his wrestling. He's got great wrestling, so he's going to use that, try and take down Marlon, try and win the first round or 2, and maybe Marlon comes back and tries to knock him out in the 3rd round. But if he doesn't knock him out or finish him in the 3rd round, and Marlon and Pedro Munoz is able to outscore him with the wrestling in rounds 1 and round 2, then I see it going to Pedro Munoz via decision. And that's not what I want to see. You know, if Marlon Vera should win, if he really is more skilled and more dangerous than Pedro Munoz, he has a 5.5-inch reach advantage over him. He should win this fight. But he has to stay focused, okay? Because Pedro Munoz is not an easy walk in the park. His wrestling is stellar. He's got heavy power, and he knows how to dirty box. He knows how to box in dire situations. We saw that with Cody Garbrandt. But, man, Pedro has not gotten a win since the fight in 2021 versus Jimmy Rivera. So this is going to be a tricky fight to bet on. But if I had to choose, I'm going to have to go with the minus 185 favorite, Marlon Vera. We'll see what happens with that one. Last fight I want to talk about, guys, before the fight start here. Chris Weidman versus Brad Tavares. Both fighters are 1-2 in their last 3. Chris Weidman has a 4-inch reach advantage over Brad Tavares. Yet, Brad Tavares is the minus 250 favorite. So he's a big favorite. The sportbook thinks that Chris Weidman is not going to win. They got him at a plus 235 underdog. So they gave us some good value there with Chris Weidman being the veteran that he is, being the ex-champion that he is. It's a matter of whether we can trust Chris Weidman in this matchup. You know, how healthy is he? At what mental health is he in right now? What state of mind is he in right now? You know, or did the sportsbook just simply mess up the odds by not believing in Chris Weidman? Because Chris Weidman, he's got the 4-inch reach advantage over Brad. Chris Weidman's got good wrestling. I could totally see him winning this. I just don't know if I have enough trust. I think with this fight, it really just comes down to who wants it more, who's more prepared, and who shows up when it really matters. So I'm going to just take a faith here, guys, and I'm just going to go Chris Weidman plus 235. I know it sounds like I'm just chasing the juice at this point, but you know what? We're going to get funky this fight card. Since the Funk Master is fighting, we're going to get funky with our bets. We're going to get wild with it. So we're going to be chasing a lot of underdogs, but it just might be Underdog City. So once again, here are my picks for UFC 292. I have Chris Weidman at plus 235 underdog, Marlon Vera at minus 185 favorite, Neil Magny at plus 250 underdog, and then I have Amanda Lemos at plus 270 underdog, and then I have Aljamain Sterling at minus 255 favorite. So there you have it. You have my rapid, quick picks right before the fight starts in about an hour and a half. You just got to let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who do you have winning in tonight's UFC 292? When that music kicks in, it's my time to get on out of here. I got to get ready for the UFC 292 fight reaction video that I'm going to shoot for you guys. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys on the recap video on Monday. So until then, enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Stay blessed. See you soon.